So my name is Elena Schepanyk, and I am the inventory management team lead at ABM Cloud. Our company provides software solutions for all the members and levels and the participants of the supply chain, from the manufacturer to the retailer. And ABM Inventory, it is an innovative solution for the inventory management itself that we have created, and we help the retail business to ensure the perfect balance between the guaranteed availability of goods and the maintenance of the minimum inventories. In our company, we truly believe that the main achievement of our company, it is happy and satisfied customers who have boosted their business and improved their performance with our help. Just a couple of words about myself. I'm working with inventory management since 2013, and my real passion in retail helped me to develop my career from the consultant trainee to the CEO. Thank you very much for giving me the floor to talk about the retail issues. And I promise that my information today that I will share you in the next 15 minutes will be timely, interesting, and without any ads. So, okay. So, to start with, retail just now is a super agile environment, which is changing rather rapidly and crucially, and this is proved by a lot of different researchers and global trends. The first one is the retail apocalypse. Has anybody heard about the retail apocalypse? Please raise your hands if you have. No? Okay. So the retail apocalypse is a phenomenon that arose in the United States in the middle 2017, and it was connected with the bankruptcy of 9 retailers the same year. Later on, Kpis, it is rather authoritative financial institution, forecast that 25% of the US retailers will be closed by 2022. The second trend, we call it the death of the classical retail, but just now, okay. Okay, in the nearest future, the classical retail will cease to exist. Even today, many retailers are changing their store structure. They are going omni-channel. They reduce the shops areas, and they just turn their stores into the warehouses for the online orders. Convenience store format is gaining power, like on the slides, and the hypermarkets can soon become an archaism. Customer experience is a king now, so we are talking about the customer-centric commerce. Consumer focuses 20% of its attention on the product properties, only 20%, and while other 80% are being paid on the environment of the item. Yes, it is the brand, it is the convenience of making a purchase, it is the price, of course, and so on. So you can see that on the slide it is a shop in Germany, by the way, where you can try everything on before you are making a purchase. It is an AR thing for app for IKEA and for the fashion retailers. Okay, all these trends, they really demonstrate that business need to become more efficient, to implement lean approach in terms of all business processes, not only to increase the income, but simply to survive. So what is my point? The main goal of any retailer is to make a successful sale to the happy customer. Of course, there are some specialities across the retail chain spheres, sectors, For example, in food retail, you need to maintain the perishable goods, and it becomes a real great challenge for each retail company who manage this, because of you need to balance between the rather high cost returns off and the maintenance of rather high service level and rather high quality of fresh items. If we are talking about all retail spheres, of course, promo is gaining power, and it is a real big issue for a lot of retailers, because the turnover of the promo positions just now is more than 50% in income, and it is increasing. If we are talking about the drogerie retail, on the other hand, they need just to be experts in managing slow-moving items. And I should say that managing slow-moving items is rather an art than a science. If talking about the toy retailers, they are very, very similar to the fashion ones because of the very high percentage of new items. That's why these analogical SKUs should be managed rather effectively. But the essentials are across different retail spheres are really the same. So the main assets of the retail company is the inventory and the shelf space. Nevertheless, the task is rather simple but not trivial, just to ensure the good availability of goods on the shelves of the store. But nevertheless, the task is rather simple. Retailers just now face a lot of different problems and issues connected with maintaining of this task. All of them, okay, not all of them, but some of them are just illustrated on the slide. I'm pretty sure that you are very, very familiar to all these issues, so I will not stop here. So my point here is becoming very clear. All these issues are connected, somehow connected with the inventory management. So what are the causes of this problem? Everything is rather simple. So the first one is a lack of automation. Just imagine that 60% of companies still use Excel spreadsheets for managing the supply chain. Even those companies who have automated this task, the task of the inventory management, usually in the ERP system, still do not get great results, as they still use outdated methodologies, which, by the way, could be provided by very popular and expensive worldwide ERP systems. And on the top of it, there are no clear indicators and some very high level of transparency and quality of the inventory management KPIs. All of the above said points prove that the task is really important and really rather hard to implement. So here the solution comes. I will talk about these three spheres of interest and just give you some examples how other companies, retail companies, coped with these issues. So the first one was automation, and this term may sound like an archaism, but nevertheless the automation it is a part of a whole. So it is necessary to have mechanisms to replenish people in different spheres that somehow minimize the human factor in the inventory management to free up people resources for strategic tasks. Such mechanisms are the order auto-calculation and auto-sending. The classical example for our company is a retail chain called Novus. It is one of the biggest retailers in Ukraine. It has 48 locations. It is rather big supermarkets with rather big range of assortments. So they have food and non-food food categories. When we have started the project, the inventory management was carried out by 90 people on the level of the stores. After the 8 months long implementation project, they have shifted all these people to the central office, and just now only 4 people are managing stocks for rather huge retailer. And at the same time, the service level was increased by 98%, and it is rather great results, I think. Just now, Novus is ranked as top 3 best retailers of FMCG goods in Ukraine by the Ukrainian Retailers Association. The second one is the usage of proved methodologies that really brings results. A few months ago, on a supply chain summit in Amsterdam, the chairman of Coca-Cola was presenting the results of their pilot project and his experience about the well-known scaling issue. So the business was growing, but the financial results were rather depressing. When the only thing to do was to improve, to accelerate the accuracy of the forecasting and to make the team of analytics much bigger than it was. But when they have changed their mind and changed their paradigm from pushing replenishment strategy to pulling replenishment strategy, they saw the light at the end of the tunnel. So by the results of the pilot project in several countries in distribution and production, the results were really great. So the stocks reduced by 30% and they continue to decline, and the service level was increased by 10% and continues to grow. Another real-life example is a drogerie retail chain called Kpis. They used to have 100% centralization of orders and minimum human interaction in the inventory management replenishment across their own supply chain. But when we were talking about the central warehouses, on the level of the central warehouses, all the orders were semi-automated, so people were involved, and some kind of simple sales forecasting was used. So when we have changed their paradigm in this case and implemented ABM inventory on the level of the central warehouse, the inventory turnover decreased from 80 days to 70 days in 3 weeks. So it was rather big shock for the management of the company, and you can understand why. So we were analyzing the out of stocks on the level of the chain, so among the shops, but everything was okay. The service level was pretty good. It was the same as before the implementation. And the third one, it is analytics. And not only analytics, but continuous improvement with the help of the analytics, which can be obtained only if 2 previous points are accomplished. Otherwise, people cannot accomplish it because they will not have any time to do it. So there are 5 crucial inventory KPIs that we have maintained across a lot of different retailers we have worked with. The first one, it is the stocks and the percentage of overstocks, sales, percentage of out of stocks, and the inventory turnover. Of course, you can calculate a lot of different other KPIs, but these 5 ones can really show the level of health of any retail chain if we are talking about the task of the inventory management. So here I want to prove my words with the example of the toy retailer called Kpis. The company grew and developed, which gave rise to the inventory stocks in the chain. So by focusing precisely on the problem of the stock growth, we have developed a strategy how to cope with this problem. So after the implementation, we have stopped this stocks growth from the one point and decrease the overstocks by 36% across six months, if I'm right. So, all these 3 points I was talking about were about the real competitive advantage of any retailer. I think that usually we can hear a lot of different things that are connected with the smart refrigerators, Internet of Things, and robotic deliveries, and so on. Yes, it is future, and it is very important to think about this future. But if we are not competitive today, then future may not come for us. So to end up with, I want to use the quote from the Alice in the Wonderland. Tell me please, where should I come? Where should I go? The Alice asked. But where do you want to come? The cat answered. I don't care, Alice said. That it doesn't depend where to go. So, I wish you to always know where you want to go and where you want to come, and your route was as efficient as possible.